Chris, I apologize to you.
Finally, how many months later? Why not just say that right away? How's everybody doing? My name is Anthony Brian Logan, and today we got to talk about Will Smith finally apologizing to Chris Rock on camera, in person, rather than just a written statement or a lawyer statement, a PR written release. Nah, it's him apologizing. Now, Chris Rock is not in the video. As a matter of fact, Will has not spoken to Chris ever since the incident, probably. He said he reached out, told me he didn't want to talk. But before I get into that, let's roll this clip. If you want to see this full clip without my commentary, the link, as always, will be in the description. But I'm going to watch it with you because I need to give my 2 cents on this. I kind of seen bits and pieces of it here and there, but I've not really seen him go deep into this whole apology thing. So let's go ahead and roll the clip. And if you're not watching the actual video, there's captions here. It says, "It's been a minute. Over the last few months, I've been doing a lot of thinking and personal work." You need to do some personal work, Will, for sure. We saw that on stage. You asked a lot of fair questions that I wanted to take some time to answer. All right, let's get to it. You sitting down and setting up. Come on. Chop, chop.
Why didn't you apologize to Chris in your acceptance speech? I was fogged out by that point. It's all fuzzy. I've reached out to Chris, and the message that came back is that he's not ready to talk, and when he is, he will reach out. So I will say to you, Chris, I apologize to you.
Finally, how many months later? Why not just say that right away? You should have said that like the question asked during the apology speech, not apology speech. It should have been an apology speech during your acceptance speech at the Oscars. You should apologize to Chris right there. You shouldn't have done what you did, like getting on stage and slapping the man because you were upset at a joke he told, which is what his job has been for the past 30 years to tell jokes as a comedian. You shouldn't have done what you did regardless, but since you did it, you lost control. You should have said, "Hey, man, you know, I don't know what happened. I don't know what came over me. I sincerely apologize to you. It'll never happen again. What can I do to fix this?" No, you didn't do anything like that. You went on stage, did your acceptance speech, crying and carrying on. It was about you at that point. You were sorry for yourself, not for what you did to Chris Rock. Oh, I'm still upset about Will. I'll never forgive Will for what he did. Even though it wasn't me that got slapped, I felt like I got slapped vicariously through Will Smith that day.
My behavior was unacceptable, and I'm here whenever you're ready to talk. I want to apologize to Chris's mother. I saw an interview that Chris's mother did, and, you know, that was one of the things about that moment. I just didn't realize, and, you know, I wasn't thinking, but.
Well, clearly you weren't thinking. When, you know, because it impacted the whole world. His mom came out and did an interview. His mom, imagine your mom seeing something like that. You don't think about that because at that moment, it was all about you. It wasn't about anybody else. It was all about you.
How many people got hurt in that moment. So I want to apologize to Chris's mother. I want to apologize to Chris's family, specifically Tony Rock. You know, we had a great relationship. You know, Tony Rock was my man, and this is probably irreparable. I spent the last 3 months replaying and understanding the nuances and the complexities of what happened in that moment.
It wasn't even that deep. It's not that deep. You just were upset and you let your feelings get the best of you, and you went on stage and acted out without thinking about how others would be affected, how you would be affected. You just wanted to show that you're a big, bad, tough guy, and it backfired.
And I'm not going to try to unpack all of that right now, but I can say to all of you, there is no part of me that thinks that was the right way to behave in that moment. There's no part of me that thinks that's the optimal way to handle a feeling of disrespect or insults. After Jada rolled her eyes, did she tell you to do something? No. It's like, you know, I made a choice on my own.
Now, see, she didn't tell you to do anything, but she didn't have to tell you to do anything. The action, her action spoke louder than any words ever could. She didn't tell you to do something, but you saw that reaction because you were laughing at first. The joke was funny, wasn't it? G.I. Jane, all this and that. You were laughing, ha. You saw her reaction, then you got triggered, and you went on stage and reacted because you wanted to rectify the situation. You did not want to have that reaction be something that you got to deal with at home or in your personal, in your mind.
From my own experiences, from my history with Chris.
So you got a history with Chris. So there were some prior issues with Chris Rock. Now, if there was a history with Chris, if there was an issue with Chris, why didn't you handle that before the Oscars rather than on the Oscar stage in your tuxedo jacket? Okay.
Jada had nothing to do with it.
Sure she did.
I'm sorry, babe. I'm going to say sorry to my kids and my family for the heat that I brought on all of us.
Is this content for his podcast? Like, what is this? It's like very well produced, and I'm seeing subtitles and a setting and lighting. Is this content for him? Whatever. Let's keep on going.
To all my fellow nominees, you know, this is a community. It's like I won because you voted for me, and it really breaks my heart to have stolen and tarnished your moment. I can still see Questlove's eyes. You know, it happened on Questlove's award, and you know, it's like I'm sorry really isn't sufficient.
Yeah, that's right. Correct.
What would you say to the people who looked up to you before the slap, or people who expressed that you let them down?
That's a very good question, because people looked at Will Smith as like, he could do no wrong. He's Mr. Perfect, really just great, nice guy. And then he goes on stage and does something like that. It ruins the image. Not only did you ruin your image, you also damaged black males' image, which is, our image is already tarnished, right? What's a stereotype? Violent, can't control yourself, low impulse control. You know, that's our stereotype. And all you did was live up to it in that moment.
So there's two things. One, disappointing people is my central trauma.
Oh, Lord.
I hate when I let people down.
My central trauma.
So it hurts. It hurts me psychologically and emotionally to know I didn't live up to people's image and impression of me. And the work I'm trying to do is I am deeply remorseful.
I'm going to tell you this, though. I'm going to just give Will a little, I'm going to throw him a bone. Throw him one little bone. It's clear that something's not right. It's clear he has some issues he's dealing with. And I hope that he actually deals with it in a sincere way to fix whatever the problem is. Because something, you know, the elevator is not going all the way to the top floor. And I'm not trying to make a joke about mental illness or any kind of mental impairment, but hopefully he gets fixed, whatever the issue is with his mental.
And I'm trying to be remorseful without being ashamed of myself. Right? I'm human, and I made a mistake, and I'm trying not to think of myself as a piece of shit.
Oh man. I mean, but you can't help but think of yourself that way though. You can't really help that, can you? Because what you did, I mean, I've never seen anything like it in my life. Slapping the man on stage at the Oscars. You had on tuxedos. What in the world were you thinking? I mean, that was beyond comprehension. It was crazy. Some may see it as not really a big deal, but those who see it as not really a big deal don't understand the big picture. They don't understand how what he did as a mega superstar, global celebrity, impacted the entire world. I ain't talking about it's on the same level as a war or some kind of armed conflict. I'm talking about just social issues. He really did a lot of damage with that slap.
So I would say to those people, I know it was confusing. I know it was shocking. But I promise you, I am deeply devoted and committed to putting light and love and joy into the world. And, you know, if you hang on, I promise we'll be able to be friends again.
All right, so there you have it. Will Smith answering a few questions about the infamous slap. He says that Jada did not put him up to it. He did it on his own, but we know what happened. It was a joke about her hair, the whole alopecia thing. He thought it was funny. Will thought it was funny. Jada didn't think it was funny. She gave him a crazy look. He sees a look. He gets triggered. He goes on stage, slaps Chris Rock, and now we have this whole big fallout as a result. It's clear that he's going through some things mentally, and I hope, like I said, that he gets whatever the problem is, hopefully whatever the issue is, gets resolved. Because if he doesn't get it resolved, he could be headed toward a crazy brick wall at 1,000 miles an hour. And we don't want to see that crash because we already saw a preview of what the crash could be. But I think I'll leave that right there for now. And what said you? How do you feel about Will Smith's apology, his explanation for what happened that day? His demeanor, what he's trying to do with himself, whatever your thoughts are on that, let me know in the comments below. You guys know where I stand. Right now, I can't really bring myself to be a Will Smith fan because that right there was just, oh man, it was crazy. And then to take so long, months afterward, to apologize. We were saying from the beginning, like that night, apologize now. He put out a statement, but it wasn't him just, you know what I mean? It was, the whole thing was handled wrong from the beginning. To go on stage and do that was wrong. Then the aftermath of that was wrong. It took forever for him to get right here. And is this content? Is it a podcast piece? Like, I don't understand what's really happening here with this production quality, but whatever. I mean, at least he did apologize. But I mean, I'm not really a fan of Will Smith. I mean, this didn't really move the needle on my opinion about Will, but at least to give him some credit, he did apologize to Chris Rock. Finally, 25 years later. But whatever your thoughts are, please let me know in the comments below. And that's all I got to say for this video. If you like what you heard, please comment, rate, share, and subscribe. Peace.